Hello everyone, welcome back to Skill Deck channel. My name is Richa. I'm back again with the next video today. Today we are going to talk about budget 2024. Yes, for fiscal year 24-25 our budget is out today and we are going to now see how it's going to impact the salaried employee and how we as an HR we need to make employee understand which regime, old tax or a new tax, which one is better. Let's go and let's start learning about that. And before that, just subscribe the channel, hit like, share, and comment. We all understand we have two tax regimes in India. One is old tax regime and one is new tax regime. In an old tax regime, you are allowed to take exemptions, deductions means allowances, exemptions, and deductions of ATC, ATTTA, ATD, ATE, all are allowed. But in new tax regime, only few deductions were allowed, and for allowances on also a few allowances like disabled, conveyance for disabled, only few were allowed. So people were opting for old tax regime if they have a more exemptions and deductions to claim and salary is high. But if they don't have exemptions and deductions to claim, then it was making sense to go with a new tax regime. This new tax regime was introduced in budget 2020 with concessional tax rates, but there was a limitation of exemptions and deductions and no much difference because the standard deduction was 50,000 for both. To make people interested for a new tax regime, although the tax rate was less in new tax regime, but the issue was no allowance and no exemption claim and no deductions in the new tax, only few. Now, the government wants the people to save more money in a new tax regime. That's why they have increased the standard deduction to 75,000 in the new tax regime. Earlier, 50,000 was there for both the tax regime. Now, 75,000 is proposed in the new tax regime. And because of that, our finance minister says that individual will be able to save up to 17,500 in a income tax. Rest remains the same, but a major change what has happened, what you can see on your screen, is the slab changes. In a new tax regime, the tax rate structure has been changed from April 1st, 2024. Now, the tax up to the 3 lakh income is nil, 3 to 7 5, 7 to 10 10%, 10 to 12 15, 12 to 15 20, more than 15 30%. Earlier, if you will see, in the new tax regime, the tax slab rates were different, 3 to 6 rather than 3 to 6 and changed to 3 to 7. 6 to 9 is changed to 7 to 10. And that's how person will get more benefit in a new tax regime. So anyone who is having a salary up to 15 lakh is definitely going to get the benefit in new tax regime. There are no other much changes which we were expecting the government is going to do the changes for the exemptions, deductions also for the old tax regime, but that didn't happen. There is no change in the old tax regime, so anyone still opting for a old tax regime, the same thing, 50,000 standard deduction, all allowances, exemptions, deductions remains the same. There are no changes in that. Only two bigger changes. One, the standard deduction in the new tax regime has been increased to 75,000 and tax slab has been changed for new tax regime. Okay, now you will all have a question that which regime would be better, old tax regime or a new tax regime. So straight away, if you have an income up to 7.5 lakh and new is always the best regime. You have an income between 8 to 15 lakh, new may be better, but each case can be different. We have to compare the amount of deduction, like what are the savings you have. But in most of the cases, new will be better. The people above 18 lakh salary, like above, I'll say 15 lakh salary to the higher ranges like 30, 35, 40. Old may be better because HRA and other exemption components can be higher. So, this new regime is definitely going to help the people up to the 15 lakh income. I hope you have understood what are the changes that is there with the new budget, how it's going to affect the salaried employee. If you have liked this video, hit like, share, comment. I'll be waiting for your comments that what are the topics you want me to record. I'll see you in the next video. By then, take care. Bye bye.